My name is Steve, this is Classified Captures. Today we got ghosts, ghoulies, weird animals, digital ID conspiracies, you name it. This is the episode that you are going to want to watch. So let's get started. Are drones disguised as birds real? Oh, before you say no, take a look at this. When this clip popped up months ago, many individuals in the community believed it was legit. Some doubted it, though, leading to many debates. Today, Rick Ross has added his voice to the debate, not just sharing an opinion, but video evidence that these things might be real after all. According to Rick, he started to notice birds showing up at his place of abode in South Africa every now and then. They'd hover from afar while staring in the direction of his building. Whenever he started paying attention to them, they'd duck and go out of sight, only to return some few minutes later. He filmed some of these instances, which is what you're seeing now. He's even asked to be left alone in one of the clips. Listen to him.
You know, they got the drones that look like birds. I know I'm a powerful person and I'm in the motherland, but y'all could get the fake drones look like birds from over here. It just dipped and it came back. Y'all tell me, is it a drone or is it a bird? Y'all tell me. I know I'm handsome. I know, but is that a drone or a bird? You tell me, guys.
Yeah, weird, huh? Some think he's overreacting and that he's probably just seeing the falcons that live in the area. Some also mentioned it was a normal bird behavior. There were also a few that felt that the drone thing is real and that this isn't one of those instances. You've seen the clip, so what do you think? I mean, this is Rick Ross putting his reputation on the line here. If you thought that was odd, take a look at this. Yeah, that's definitely not normal. This clip showed up online recently and it's got the community talking. In the clip, we see a strange and unfamiliar piece of technology powering up and then disappearing. It's almost as though it teleported out of the place. When the young men first uploaded it, they were met with a lot of skepticism as some felt it might be AI generated, despite the fact that the young men swore on their lives that this was real. The conversation surrounding the topic started to die down until another clip showed up from a second witness. This clip also captures the strange tag-looking thing from a different viewing point. While some took this to mean the thing really exists, some felt the second video was more AI than it was authentic. Take a look at the second clip. I can understand why they'd think that. It has this unnatural feel to it without any reflections, but then again, it could just be me overthinking due to the many opinions I've read. But you guys have seen it too now, so tell me what you think. We've spoken about digital IDs and how they could essentially be weaponized. Some of you were skeptical, but it's already here. And guess who's being used to introduce it? Apple. Their new digital ID system is being marked as the next level of convenience, a future where license, travel documents, and personal identity all live inside your iPhone. To the average person, that sounds efficient, but to anyone paying attention, it feels like the early construction of a digital trap. When a single device becomes your wallet, your keys, your passport, and your proof of existence, it also becomes the ultimate point of control. A system that can verify you instantly can just as easily track you instantly. A tool that can confirm your identity at an airport can deny it with the same ease. Apple speaks the language of privacy and seamless access, but critics hear something very different. A slow shift towards dependency, surveillance, and a world where saying no is no longer an option. Because once your identity moves into the digital space controlled by a corporation, it becomes something that can be paused, restricted, or quietly manipulated. This is the part they never highlight. I don't know about you, but this worries me a bit. I'm really interested to know what you guys think of the whole digital ID thing. We all know what's been going on in China. I'm kind of wary, but at the same time, I don't know. It's a hard one. I don't think I'm gonna have digital ID on my phone until I've seen what's gonna happen in the world and whether all of a sudden the governments are gonna turn around and go, "Ha ha, gotcha." Yeah. Still on digital IDs, it's allegedly reported that TikTok's American operations have now been placed under Oracle's wing. Yes, Oracle, the supposedly dull corporate software giant led by Larry Ellison. But dull? Well, that depends on how deep you're willing to look. Ellison wasn't just one of the richest men on Earth, he's also the biggest private donor to the IDF and someone who constantly speaks about the inevitable digital future. Digital IDs, central bank digital currencies, AI-powered surveillance networks. He's been openly praising all of it for years, and now suddenly he has full control of TikTok's entire US infrastructure. As if that isn't strange enough, Ellison has also been quietly working side by side with Trump's administration on America's digital ID framework. Everything starts to align a little too neatly, doesn't it? But here's where it gets really interesting. I dug a bit deeper, and it turns out a few pieces of the official narrative don't line up with the way they've been presented. Some roles are exaggerated, some connections are more indirect than the headlines claim, or at least that's what the reports want us to believe. Because in the world of digital IDs and surveillance power plays, the line between truth and design is thinner than ever. Maybe, just maybe, that confusion is exactly what they want.
Constantly watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
Watch this clip.
Wait, I know. What? I know. Like, how is that? I don't know.
Did you notice anything weird? No? Well, let's back up a bit. So what you are seeing is basically surveillance footage from a shop. We're not told where the shop is, but only that the salesperson felt she'd seen someone take something they hadn't paid for. She went to the surveillance to double check, and that's when she noticed the clip you saw earlier. If you pay attention to the clip now, you see different individuals standing in the shop moving around. There's a large mirror there that shows everyone's reflection, including those walking around. That, at least, is the case, until the strange man in black passes in front of it. All of a sudden, there's no reflection, and it's almost as though he was never there. She couldn't believe her eyes at first, but after watching the clip over and over again, she concluded that the man had to be a vampire. What do you think?
I gotta get some red phone done.
Of course.
I know, he's gonna freak out.
Wait, I don't know. Okay, so I don't understand. You're filming the guy that stole it?
No, look, just keep watching. It's crazy. Wait, I know. What? I know. Like, how is that? I don't know.
What the
It's crazy.
This is something you'd expect to see in a movie, but if you were the person who uploaded this clip, then chances are you saw it with your own two naked eyes. For those wondering, the clip was uploaded online by a woman from North Carolina. She'd come home late that day and was simply getting out of a car when she noticed an unnatural-looking creature moving in the distance. To confirm what she was seeing, she quickly moved to her home security camera, and surely enough, it had captured the creature moving around her property. It had pale skin and unusually long limbs. It moved on all fours and was definitely not human or animal. She uploaded it seeking answers, and the responses named the usual suspect, the Rake. Now take a good look at it and let me know what you also think. And before you crucify me, allow me to mention that there are some who also believe this is nothing more than AI. But what's your take? Did you know it's possible to have multiple babies at the same time with different fathers as a woman? It sounds unbelievable, but it happened in Brazil when a 19-year-old woman gave birth to twin boys who each had a different biological father. Known as heteropaternal superfecundation, this rare phenomenon occurs when two eggs release in the same menstrual cycle and they're fertilized by sperm from different men. In this case, the woman reportedly had intercourse with two men within the same 24-hour period, and the DNA test later confirmed that each twin matched a different father. Both boys share the same mother but are fraternal twins, growing in separate placentas, which is how this extraordinary situation is possible. Heteropaternal superfecundation is extremely rare, especially to happen in roughly 1 in a million twin births, although some studies suggest it may be slightly more common among fraternal twins than previously thought. It requires precise timing. Two eggs must be released and fertilized within a short window, and sperm from two men must survive and successfully fertilize them. Most cases go undetected unless paternity testing is done. This remarkable story highlights the fascinating complexity of human reproduction, showing that even in something as familiar as twins, biology can surprise us in ways most people would never imagine. Speaking of imaginations, imagine her trying to explain to her twins that they each have different fathers. That must have been one hell of a drunken evening, that's all I can say. If you ask most people how many continents exist, you'd probably hear 7. But did you know there is actually an 8th one called Zealandia? You might be wondering why you've never seen it despite many travels around the world. Well, the answer is simple. It's almost entirely underwater, hidden beneath the waves of the Pacific Ocean. Only small parts of it, like New Zealand and New Caledonia, rise above sea level, making it easy to miss. Zealandia is not just a collection of islands, it's a fully fledged continent according to geologists. It covers nearly 5 million square kilometers, making it bigger than India, and it has its own distinct geology and crust separate from Australia and the Pacific Ocean floor. Scientists believe it sank beneath the ocean about 23 million years ago, but studying it helps us understand the planet's history, continental drift, and the forces that shape our world. So next time you think you know all the continents, remember there is a hidden one silently stretching beneath the sea, waiting to surprise anyone curious enough to look. So when I first saw this clip, I watched it over and over, trying to understand what I was looking at. A man starts off holding what looks like a peacock feather, to my untrained eyes anyway. He shows it off, does a few things around it, then places it in front of the mirror, and within seconds, the mirror breaks. The narrative being pushed by the video is that the feather carries some hidden power or energy. Some think it's demonic, while others believe it's tied to the idea of the ether. For those who know nothing about it, people who talk about ether energy believe this is an unseen field around us that holds strange and unlimited power. It's an old concept from classical science that is now blended with modern fringe beliefs, creating the idea that certain objects or rituals can tap into this invisible force. Personally, after watching this over and over, I suspect the stone from a slingshot might have done the trick, a clean and effective shot. Perhaps it's just me being skeptical, but well, what say you guys? There have been many sightings of the tree on your screen, and it's got people confused. And no, that is not a palm tree, it's the scale tree. For those who don't know, the scale tree was a towering prehistoric giant that ruled the earth over 300 million years ago, long before dinosaurs. It grew almost 40 meters tall, covered in strange diamond-shaped patterns, and vanished when the ancient swamp world that fed it collapsed. In simple terms, it's been extinct for hundreds of millions of years, yet people swear they've seen it standing alive in the modern world. Seeing this has got many people thinking they're slipping through time, that perhaps the past is colliding with the present and the future in ways we do not yet understand. Some believe these sightings are glitches, thin places in reality, or moments where ancient timelines blend into ours. But before we jump to conclusions, let us look at it logically. Could this be misidentification, or is something stranger happening? Share your thoughts and tell us what you think people are really seeing. What if everything we know about the oceans is wrong? What if beneath the surface, creatures exist that no human has ever seen? Daniel Reyes, a 42-year-old marine enthusiast, might have found one of them. While filming routine reef activity near the submarine canyon in Monterey Bay, he captured something that defies explanation. A massive serpentine figure appeared in the water, moving with a grace and intelligence that seemed almost deliberate. Experts say it shows traits of deep-sea squids and giant predatory fish, yet it matches nothing in the known records of marine life. The Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute has reportedly begun investigating, but the footage raises more questions than answers. Those on Reyes' dive vessel described the water itself shifting as the creature passed, accompanied by a low-frequency hum that briefly disrupted their instruments. Could this be a new species venturing into shallow waters, or a strange anomaly caused by shifts in the California current system? Some whisper it could be far older and far stranger, something humanity was never meant to find. Whatever it was lurking in the cobalt depths, one thing is certain: the oceans are keeping secrets, and this encounter might be the closest glimpse we have ever had. Now, what are we looking at here? Someone spotted this strange, almost unnatural-looking cloud formation in the sky, and the moment we zoom in, things get even weirder because you can clearly see this shimmery, distorted effect rippling across the cloud, almost like heat waves or some kind of cloaking field. And then there's this smaller cloud that seems to drift over the larger one, but the way it moves doesn't really match normal cloud behavior. It just slides across it like two separate objects. It's a very interesting video, and honestly, we can't say for sure what's happening here. Some people believe the footage is fake or edited, while others think it could be an atmospheric glitch. But when you look at the texture, the shimmer, that strange layered motion, it definitely raises questions. So what do you think we're looking at? Is this something natural, something manipulated, or something else entirely? A homeowner retrieved this footage from their doorbell camera one particular night. At first, it just looks like a shadow drifting by, but when the footage is run through the filters, the shape becomes a lot clearer. You can actually make out a human-like form with the shoulders, torso, and the basic outline of a person, but no face or legs. And here's the part that really unsettles people. It doesn't enter through the gate or walkway. It looks like it comes straight out of the fence wall, steps into the yard, and continues into the neighborhood. While some are saying it could be edited or a glitch from the camera, some think that could be a ghost. So what are your thoughts? One of the reasons people are wary of using AI for writing is that it can sometimes undermine originality and the hard work that traditional writers put in. A recent example comes from Pakistan, where a major newspaper ran a business report that ended up becoming embarrassing. At the bottom of the article, there was a ChatGPT response. Usually when AI asks you something like, "Do you want me to add more, edit this, or do you want me to, etc., etc., that's part of the drafting interface, and it was left in the published article. Who was the editor? How did this get through without anyone noticing? Well, using AI isn't the problem, but using it without oversight is. And clearly whoever wrote the article did little to no work after the AI draft. They literally left the AI's own comments in the final publication, showing why so many are skeptical of AI in journalism. A fish supposed to have human-like genitalia, because some fishermen were out at sea when they caught this bright orange wing-looking fish, only to discover something else. When they flip the creature over, what we can clearly see looks like two testicles, one noticeably swollen and the right above that something that resembles male genitalia. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the last time I checked, fish are not supposed to have mammalian anatomy, so what exactly are we looking at here? It's ridiculous, and yet the footage looks real. Could this be some kind of deformity, a mutation caused by pollution, a freak evolution, or maybe an injury that healed in a strange way? Because we've seen deformed fish before, two-headed fish, cyclops fish, but this is on another level. So is this a new mutation? I don't think anyone expected a fish to come out of the ocean looking like this.
I'm excited on the way.
Yeah, what kind of fish you just catch?
Male. I got a red weenie fish.
I think it's a male.
He's got excited on the way.
Dude, this is my second splooge video, part 2 of the redfish. Bro, you gotta see this shit.
I guess it could be real. I mean, a trout with a spout. A hake with a snake. Oh, sorry. Recently, people over the US have been sharing videos of unsettling sounds coming from airports. They were loud mechanical groans, metallic roars, noises nobody seems to properly explain. And with all the conspiracy theories surrounding airports already, these sounds just add more fuel to the fire. But now we have another video, this time from Denver, Colorado. A witness was walking through the streets when they heard something coming from underground. There was a sewer opening by the side of the road, so naturally they assumed that was the source of the noise. They pulled out their phone, walked closer and pointed the camera into the darkness, but there was nothing in there except for the sound. It was a deep, aggressive growl. Loud enough that it sounded like whatever it was close. And what makes this even stranger is how similar the noises are to the ones heard at the airport. So what is going on out there in Denver?
Yeah, what's in there?
Video of that.
Yeah, what's in there?
Moving on, we have this man on an interview, and he goes by the name Joshua Shelton. Joshua had gone straight to the FBI to file a complaint after something he witnessed during his routine shift. He works at a nuclear site where they provide security for nuclear weapons, and in places like that, most of the weapons are kept deep inside locked rooms and underground bunkers. These bunkers are sealed, heavily reinforced, and the security team have zero access to whatever is stored inside. Their job is simple: make sure the doors stay locked, the area stays secured, and whatever is inside stays inside. They're not clear to ever find out what's in there. Now, Joshua was doing his usual rounds, checking each door like he always does, until he reached one particular bunker. And according to him, something on the other side of that door slammed into it hard. It was hard enough that it made the entire metal frame shake. It sounded like something alive was hitting the door with force. Even his partner, who was sitting outside in the car waiting for him, heard the bang from all the way out there. That's how loud it was. Joshua immediately reported it to the supervisors on duty, but they all said they had no clearance to check what was inside that bunker. They couldn't open it, couldn't investigate, and couldn't ask questions. All they could do was ensure the bunker was still secure and that whatever was stored inside remained contained. So he brought the complaint to the FBI, and according to him, even the FBI shared some of the same concerns he had. But still nothing could be done. No one with the right clearance stepped in, and no attempt was made to uncover what was actually moving inside that sealed bunker. And to this day, that remains a mystery. Now, knowing what we know in the paranormal and conspiracy communities, it's obvious that something is in there, something alive and strong enough to be hidden in a nuclear bunker door. Some people believe it could be a genetically modified animal, others say it could be some classified biological entity, and a few even think it might be something far beyond that. But what exactly is behind that door?
They had this big heavy handle that you would lift up and it would open it, and then you would just let it go and it would clang really loudly. I checked the first one, I check the second one, I let the thing go and it clangs really loudly, and then something from inside smashed into that door. And these are 2-ton jacks, I think is what we carried. So these were about 2 or 1-ton doors each, and there are 2 doors, and they're sunk into the ground. And something smashed into that door in response to me letting that second air vent kind of clang close. And it smashed loud enough that I jumped. Like, it scared the daylights out of me.
We're living in a time where the world is becoming more machine than natural, and because of that shift, the demand for raw materials for batteries and metals and many more materials has skyrocketed. Now, while there are places on land where miners dig for these materials, a literal treasure trove in the ocean has been found. On the seabed, there are these metal stones packed with the exact resources tech companies are desperate for. But the thing is, this part of the ocean is deep. You can't just send regular equipment down there. To extract these stones, you need specialized and expensive machinery that won't destroy the entire underwater ecosystem while doing it. And there's this company called the Metals Company that's responsible for harvesting these stones so tech companies can use them for their devices. Looking at the direction of the world is heading, everything's becoming tech and digital. And this is probably one of the most lucrative ventures anyone could own right now, so the ocean might just be the new gold mine. This man had visited the woods before, and in one of his older videos, he shared something strange. He'd found wavy bubbles. Yeah, actual bubbles, but they were moving in this wavy floating pattern around the woods. Now, a few meters away from the same spot, he went back again and decided to blow another bubble. This time, the bubble wasn't wavy, but it stayed alive way longer than any normal bubble would. Usually when you blow a bubble after it floats for a bit, it pops, but this one didn't. It just kept drifting back and forth for a minute or two, maybe more. So we talked about it for a bit and then poked it with a stick, and when it finally burst, he slowed the footage down and it looked like some type of energy burst out of it. The man thinks something happened in that area years ago that caused an energy glitch or a portal, and that's why the bubbles behave like this. But others think the bubble was simply stuck on a spider web, which made it float around like that. But how do you explain how long the bubble stayed alive before he popped it?
So I came back to the woods where I found the wavy bubbles a few weeks ago. I actually come back here a few times, but I didn't find anything, and I actually found something else. So yeah, I blew this bubble like a minute ago, and it is still here. It's right here, right in this location. It hasn't moved. I am not a bubble expert, but I am pretty sure that this is not normal. And I am going to poke it. I'm going to poke it with a stick. Huh. Wow. I don't know what I expected. I think I expected it to like stay still or do nothing.
Have you guys seen the video going around of that iPhone holder made from a sock? Like, it's literally a sock designed to hold your phone, and somehow this thing costs between $200 and $300 depending on the size. It's a whole sock for hundreds of dollars. When you look at the press release, it doesn't even try to hide it. It literally says it's a sock repurposed as a premium phone holder. People are already cutting up their own socks, making their own versions, and mocking the whole idea. And honestly, who can blame them? I mean, what the hell is going on with these new inventions popping up? First, the digital ID, now a luxury sock for an iPhone. Are companies really running out of ideas, or are they just seeing how far they can push people? So would you buy this? We have another trending video coming out of the US, and this one is wild. Someone was by a creek when they spotted a creature perched on a tree branch, and the thing looked interesting to say the least. It almost looked like a lizard, but when you notice, it has wings, 4 feet, and a tail. The shape of the body even gives off some kind of dinosaur vibe, and honestly, with the way things are these days, you never really know what to believe anymore. Of course, some people are saying it's AI, and that seems to be the go-to explanation for everything now. But if this isn't AI and was actually something real captured on camera, then what exactly are we looking at here? Because that doesn't look like any normal animal we know. One of the worst travel experiences you can ever have is your car breaking down in the middle of nowhere. And when that nowhere happens to be Minnesota, especially the northern parts, it's even worse, because that area is known for having a lot of wolves. That's exactly the situation a man found himself in after his car broke down in a heavy snowstorm. It was early Minnesota winter, freezing cold, about 10 degrees Fahrenheit, and he was stuck there waiting for help. But no help was coming. Eventually, he stepped out of his car. It was late at night, and he was surrounded by darkness. And he was on the road between 2 wooded areas. And then out of nowhere, he heard this loud howl. He couldn't see where it came from, but you can tell just by the sound that whatever made it had to be huge, probably a wolf, considering where he was. It's a horrible and dangerous situation to be stuck in, especially at that hour in that weather, in a place known for predators. Hopefully he got out of there safe, because anything could have happened in a moment like that. A woman came across this dead creature in a jar covered in a slimy substance. It appears to be an alien-like miniature being in a fetal position. The creature was so tiny and fit in the palm of the woman who found it. The creature was gray with huge eyes and an oddly shaped head, features that have long been associated with extraterrestrial beings. Why would someone go through the trouble of capturing such a creature and preserving it in a jar? Is it a genuine extraterrestrial being, or perhaps a cleverly crafted hoax designed to stir up intrigue? Many in the paranormal community believe it's a fake, but what say you? Have you watched the movie Life? If so, you might recall the scene where they captured a gooey creature in space that later turned into a human-eating monster. Recently, footage has been circulating that is eerily similar. In the video, there's a plate on a table with a strange, thick, black, gooey substance. A hand holds a metal ring, and the liquid follows wherever the ring goes. It's unclear where this footage was taken or who recorded it, but this is something worth investigating. But wait, it gets even more intriguing. The hand tries to separate the goo with a credit card, but it effortlessly merges back together, as if it has a mind of its own. Now, some people have drawn comparisons to the infamous symbiotic alien known as Venom, and you can see why. The resemblance is uncanny. Others speculate that it could be graphene, a material known for its unique properties. One intriguing suggestion comes from a commenter who proposed that it might be a ferromagnetic fluid reacting to a magnet hidden beneath the table. This theory holds water, as ferromagnetic fluids are indeed capable of exhibiting fascinating behaviors when exposed to magnetic fields, such as following the movement of a magnet or rejoining when separated. As for us, we're no experts and can only speculate based on available evidence. Nonetheless, we'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think's going on here? Starting today's episode, I've got a clip Bigfoot enthusiasts will love. During a video project, a man deployed his drone to capture aerial footage above a dense forest area. As the drone hovered and scanned the landscape, it captured something rather unexpected and unusual, a massive ape-like creature. Looking at the clip, however, we know this can't just be any ape. I mean, look at its gait. It casually takes long strides with its massive arms swinging back and forth as it moves gracefully through the trees. This can't be any ape. In fact, many who saw it believed it had to be a Bigfoot. The creature seemed completely unaware of the drone filming it from above. If you were to ask me, the footage looks incredibly genuine. It has this authentic feel to it, unlike some of the staged videos we've seen in the past. Julius & Co., which is basically Julius and all who think like him, think this isn't genuine. Some stated it could be a gorilla, but Julius didn't think so. In fact, he states that there are no apes in the region where this was recorded. His hypothesis? It has to be a man in an ape suit or something along those lines. Aaron disagrees, and I'm tempted to go along with him on this one, but what do you guys also think? People have unique ways of honoring their loved ones who have passed, but what I'm about to show you might just be the most unsettling tribute yet. This man from Florida, who was a musician, decided to build a guitar using the skeletal remains of his uncle. According to him, this was his way of honoring his uncle, who introduced him to heavy metal music. He shared his creation online, and views were divided. Some thought it was fascinating, while others thought it was eerie. There were even some who thought it was outright disrespectful, but then again, people in their culture vary. How would you have interpreted this? If you were his uncle, would you have been happy with this? With the advancement of technology, body modification techniques are also becoming more sophisticated. For those who have ever considered changing their eye color, it's now possible thanks to FLAC Pro technique. Beatrice from Brazil underwent this procedure to change her eye color from a darker shade to a water green, and her results were remarkable. The FLAC Pro procedure involves pigmentation of the cornea, which is a clear front surface of the eye. Skilled ophthalmologists perform the procedure by injecting a specialized pigment into the cornea stroma, the middle layer of the cornea. This pigment interacts with the existing iris color, resulting in a new hue. The procedure is performed with great care and precision, ensuring that the patient's eye health is not compromised. Beatrice underwent the procedure in Rome, Italy, where it was successfully performed. The change in eye color has been a popular trend in recent years, and as technology continues to advance, this trend is likely to continue. Would you try this? Over the years, there have been numerous reports of unidentified flying objects and sightings of extraterrestrial life, which have warranted intense scrutiny. However, this alleged UFO sighting shared online by renowned Mexican journalist and ufologist Jaime Maussan has captured people's attention worldwide. The clip shows a bright light ascending into the night sky and then disappearing into the clouds. However, even after it disappears into the clouds, you can still see lights shining above them, which has left many people wondering what it could be. Jaime Maussan is well known for his work in the field of ufology, having investigated and reported on several UFO sightings and alien encounters. This sighting has only added to the intrigue and mystery surrounding the topic. While some folks hang on to Maussan's every word, others are quick to dismiss him as a fake, questioning the authenticity of his content. Well, as with many things in the realm of UFOs and aliens, it's a mixed bag of belief and skepticism. Without more concrete evidence, it's tough to say for sure what's really going on up there in the skies. What do you make of this, real or fake?
I'm gonna say something. ¿Está bien? Holy shit. ¿Está bien?
A man ventured into a graveyard, and while walking through, he came across a figure a few meters away. It looked like a dark silhouette crouched on the ground in front of a wall. At first, he thought it was a person and called out to it, but then something unexpected happened. As soon as he yelled, the figure stood up and began to glide upwards along the wall. It wasn't just any wall either, it was part of a tomb. Now, people are speculating about what this entity could be. Some believe it might be a demon or some supernatural being. What do you guys think? If it's truly a supernatural being, what do you think it was doing there?
I am gonna say something. ¿Está bien? Holy sh**. ¿Está bien? What the
A man and his group of friends decided to explore an abandoned facility. As they made their way through the empty place, the man behind the camera ventured up a staircase. Arriving at a series of rooms that were locked. These rooms had metal fencing doors, allowing him to see inside. Curious, he began to look around. While inspecting one particular dark room, something spooked him so much that he quickly ran back down the stairs. It wasn't until reviewing the footage that he realized what had freaked him out. There, in the room, was a dark figure lurking. It had this ominous feel to it, but that's all he knew about it. He uploaded the clip seeking answers, but the community can't seem to come to an agreement. Responses range from it being a shadow creature to the whole thing being a hoax. You've seen the clip, so what do you think that we're dealing with here?
Shit, they got every year, make and model on this bitch. Motherfucker done burnt out.
This footage was captured in San Francisco, where there had been a noticeable increase in thefts in the Bay Area recently. To ensure the safety of their possessions, people have been taking various measures to secure them, and this car owner has taken a rather innovative and extreme approach. The owner of this car has gone to great lengths to protect their vehicle by welding several security cameras onto it. The cameras are strategically placed all around the car to ensure complete coverage and to provide the owner with a 360-degree view of the surroundings. It's a whimsical approach, to be sure, but you can't deny the ingenuity behind it. With those cameras mounted all around, it's safe to say that anyone thinking of getting too close to this car will think twice, unless, of course, they had their whole body covered and they ripped the cameras off for some extra profit. It sounds funny, but I can see that happening.
Shit, they got every year, make and model on this bitch. Motherfucker done burnt out. Shit, they got that remote on there.
In this next footage, someone shared security footage online. In the footage, there is a ghostly figure walking through a room and then disappearing in a thin air. It's a very eerie sight to behold. Just imagine seeing something like this on your own camera. A commenter on the video suggested that this might be a cloaking device, which is quite an unusual explanation. Typically, most people would assume that the figure in the footage is a ghost or some other paranormal entity. But a cloaking device? Oh, that's something. Given our recent advancements in technology, that's not too wild a thought, but what do you think? A potential ghost or a test run for a cloaking device? Share your thoughts. In March, a homeowner shared rather interesting footage from a security camera they had installed in their backyard. The footage shows what looks like a ghostly figure grazing near a wall that had a dark object in front of it. Out of nowhere, an invisible creature about 3 to 4 feet tall walks in front of the black object on the ground. This creature had an obvious humanoid form and looked like it was made of smoke. The only reason we can see it is because of the contrast with the black object. As soon as it passes by the object, it vanishes into thin air. The footage caused a frenzy among viewers in the paranormal community. Some believed that this was an alien creature walking around, while others thought it was some sort of ghost or spiritual entity. What do you think this could be? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Am I the only one seeing the strange-looking lizard? No, you can see it too. Oh, great. I'm not seeing things then. The big question now is, why does it look like that? If I had $1 anytime I asked that question on this channel, I'd be a millionaire by now. After doing some digging around and research, which mostly means asking Julius, it turns out that the chances of this critter being an alien creature accidentally left on our planet are incredibly low. Julius and the other science geniuses I interviewed stated that what we are seeing could be the result of a damaged egg or a set of twins that never truly separated or developed well. While that does seem very plausible and logical, I can't help but entertain the idea of it being an alien species. I know the chances of it being so are very slim, but look at it. Doesn't it look like some cute little alien creature? Anyway, have any of you encountered an animal with a similar condition? Let us know what species it was and how different it looked compared to the normal-looking critters in its species. I'll be reading the comments. While walking on the field, a farmer was taken aback by a strange sight and started recording. Some of the haystacks on the field suddenly flew off the ground and fell back down at random intervals. The farmer, puzzled by this bizarre behavior, tried to find a logical explanation for it. At first he thought it might be the wind, but when you look closely at the footage, you'll notice that there is no sign of wind blowing at all. Also, the bundles of hay that were flying off the ground were not necessarily the ones that were closest to each other, which made the situation even more peculiar. Some people speculated that it could be due to demon possession or ghost activity because there seems to be no logical explanation for the phenomenon. What do you think, though? Could this be an actual real-life capture of ghost activity, or could this man and his group of friends be playing a fast one on us? Please share your thoughts. One of our subscribers recently shared an intriguing image with us. The picture shows a mysterious creature that was spotted on the shores of a water body. Take a look. The creature in question has a rather peculiar head with 2 eyes, a slightly open mouth, and tiny razor-sharp teeth. Its physical characteristics differ significantly from those of regular fish, as it has 2 arms extended with 4 claws. The creature's appearance has puzzled many, leading to various speculations. Some people suggest that this creature could be a Nephilim, an angelic being mentioned in ancient texts. Others believe that it could be a baby mermaid, a mythical creature that has been the subject of folklore for centuries. And then there's the possibility of extraterrestrial origins, with some speculating that it could be an alien life form exploring our earthly waters. While this idea may seem far-fetched to some, the vastness of the universe and the mysteries it holds leaves room for such speculation and imagination. That big question now is, which of these is the most accurate? I guess we'll never know, unless, of course, it comes out that this was all an elaborate hoax to mislead the masses. I've seen some pretty large animals in my day, but nothing could have prepared me for these horns. These have got to be some of the largest horns out there, and believe me when I say there are some species of cows or bulls that have such large horns. In fact, some cultures breed some of them purposely to show off their horns or see how big they can get. Now, you know there was no way today's episode was going to end without our bonus segment coming up, right? So could you find out what exact species this bull is and what country it comes from? If you believe you have the answer, you know what to do. Type it in the comments section with one unique fact about this big boy right here. Remember to start your comment with the word bonus. May the best human win. Next, we've got a clip someone sent in that he had allegedly recorded from the daily news in his region. Let's take a look at it together. What would you call this? Aaron, our conspiracy theorist, took one look at it and screamed, "Superbug." Now, when he said it, I couldn't help but laugh. I mean, the very idea of a superbug is amusing, but then again, you can't really blame him for thinking that, can you? I mean, look at the thing. Have you ever seen a bug that large? Now, I tried to do some research online to find if something like this has been reported in any part of the world, and try as I may, I found nothing. Naturally, I started to suspect this wasn't real. It definitely had to be a CGI creation, but then again, it could be the skeptic in me being loud. What do you guys think? Distinguishing between what's real and what's not has become increasingly challenging. I recently came across this fascinating footage that has got members of the paranormal community excited yet scared. In the clip, there is a massive pillar with huge tentacles wrapped around it. It's a sight to behold. However, before we start imagining the existence of colossal octopus monsters, it's worth considering the potential for digital manipulation. Thanks to the advancement in technology, it's gotten relatively easier to create realistic-looking creatures for your videos. This makes some members of our team think this might be nothing more than CGI. While there's a strong assertion, we can't really prove it, but you've seen it. What do you think? Is this merely a result of CGI, or is there something more at play? Please share your thoughts in the comments section.
Two. Нет. Бургер. Хорошо, стоп. Мясо.
Take a look at this man who appears to be over-friendly with a bear. He leans against the giant fur of the animal, and something is unsettling about the way he interacts with the bear. But that's not even the most concerning part. Watch as the man offers a burger to the bear, but the bear refuses to eat it. The man takes out the ingredients one by one, trying to entice the animal to eat. He shows the bear the patty, then the cheese, then the lettuce and tomato, but the bear still refused to eat. The man continues to pester the bear, urging it to eat. He tries to hand-feed the animal, but it still won't eat. Finally, after much pestering, the bear gets up and walks away from the man. As you watch this scene, you can't help but wonder why the bear refused to eat. Could it be that the bear smelled something unhealthy and inedible from the food? It's concerning to think about what we're putting into our stomachs when we eat these things. Either that or the bear might be vegan and the burger just wasn't meeting the mark.
Том, неправильно. Давай. Том.
Не хочет.
Не хочу. Нет.
In India, there's an intriguing ancient method used to find underground water. Here's how it works. First, they peel a coconut and place it sideways on their palm. Then they walk around holding it gently. Watch this. When they reach a spot with water beneath the ground, the coconut mysteriously stands upright in their palm. It's fascinating to see this in action. Known as dowsing, this method has been passed down through generations and is said to be quite efficient. Am I the only one who thinks it's incredible how ancient traditions still hold relevance today? Oh, wait, I forgot to ask. Julius, how legit this is, but, well, no one lies on the internet, right? Right. Our next destination is space. This intriguing footage, allegedly captured by the International Space Station, or ISS for short, shows a V-shaped craft flying across the sky. The sighting has generated significant buzz, with many believing this has to be proof of extraterrestrial activity. Skeptics, on the other hand, are quick to dismiss the footage, suggesting that it could be a hoax or misinterpreted natural phenomena like space debris, reflections, or even camera artifacts. There are some who also argue that the shape and movement appear too deliberate to be easily explained. In other words, they think it's fake. While 10 years ago we would have been laughing at this clip, given the rise in fake UFO footage and the confessions from top officials in the USA, it's difficult to simply dismiss this clip as being fake. Either way, you've seen it, so what do you think is going on here? Believe me when I say the next one is as disturbing as it is strange. That's definitely a strange-looking creature lying down on the table. It has this grotesque-looking face and body features that don't match any known creature on the planet. The question on everyone's mind is, what is this? Naturally, the comments section of the original post was buzzing with opinions and theories. One comment that caught our attention among the thousands under the post was this: if mermaids exist, this is a more accurate description of what they would probably look like. It's an intriguing thought, isn't it? Perhaps this creature isn't an alien after all, but rather a fantastic creature of the sea, lurking in the depths beyond our understanding. Either that or we've got another hoax on our hands. Back on October the 15th, 1996, this alien body was allegedly retrieved and thoroughly examined. The footage is not very clear, so it's hard to see, but you can tell that the creature lying down is not human. It has a small, oddly shaped head and a small mouth. The eyes are closed, but one appears to be slightly open. Now, people made mention that this was a legit alien sighting from one Dr. Jonathan Reed. So I did a little digging and found this. This footage was indeed from Dr. Jonathan Reed, who said the alien attacked his dog and shot his dog with a vaporizer. Reed said he took a tree branch and knocked the creature out, resulting in this footage we see. Initially, the media seized upon the story, but over time skepticism grew, and Reed's claims were ultimately debunked and dismissed as a hoax. Knowing what we know now and the possibility of extraterrestrial life out there, do you think it's a hoax or that it's real? The number of unusual sightings in the sky these days is quite strange, if not alarming. Recently, someone shared this intriguing footage of something they captured floating over the ocean. It was a white figure in the sky that resembled a person with their arms stretched wide. The figure looked like a cloud, but there was no other clouds in the sky, just this singular, human-shaped formation. It seems very odd for the only small patch of cloud in the blue sky to be shaped like a person. This led to a lot of speculation. Some believe it could be a holographic projection, but who would be out at the ocean looking up to see this? Others think it could be an actual being in the sky. What do you think? Is this a mysterious being, a clever hologram, or just a peculiar cloud formation? In this next footage, someone discovered intriguing tracks near Meek's cabin by the water. The muddy ground perfectly molded the footprint impressions into its surface. The site where this print was captured is said to be a Bigfoot hotspot. The prints, although seemingly human, have an unusual appearance. They feature a mid-tarsal ridge and a significant girth, unlike typical human footprints. The debate over the existence of Bigfoot has been ongoing for years, with numerous sightings and evidence. The distinct characteristics of these tracks could point to the legendary creature, but they might also belong to someone with an unusual foot structure. So are we looking at a Bigfoot track, or are these just the prints of a human with oddly shaped big feet?
How you doing? Not good. What's going on? Okay, Jeremiah, come out here.
According to a recent TikTok video posted by a user named Divine Pisces 444, she is convinced that a portal opened in front of her house for extraterrestrial beings. The user has shared multiple clips showing what she believes to be aliens visiting her home. Take a listen.
In 2021, and it's just been non-stop. 3 houses they arrived to. Ours was the first house, couple houses down, and then further down the road because we heard the doorbell ring. I don't have a doorbell. It was some type of signal they gave that they were there. You understand what I'm saying? This is my security camera, you guys, picking this shit up.
In the videos, she can be heard describing the strange and unexplainable occurrences happening in her house.
You watch my videos and you go, I don't see anything, because you don't know what they look like. They have come in so many shapes, sizes, forms, colors. Actual creatures have come in my house. Some stood as short as 2 feet, some as tall as 9 feet.
Her voice sounds shaken, and the fear and anxiety are quite evident in her tone. The video has sparked a wave of discussion and speculation on social media, with many people sharing their theories about the possible existence of aliens. What do you think of her encounter? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section.
The people that was up on that ship, they were like doing something at that tree, and when they wanted to communicate with me, that whole front of that tree, it would turn into their face. And they would talk to me telepathically.
Speaking of bizarre occurrences, someone allegedly captured this next clip at an unknown location. Enjoy. In the clip, we're introduced to this huge and strange object falling from the sky. The object is almost transparent, and there's people also gathering around to see it. The question on everyone's mind was, what is this? Some people mentioned that it was a weather balloon falling to the ground. Weather balloons are commonly used for atmospheric research and data collection, and it's not uncommon for them to be mistaken for unidentified objects when spotted from a distance. Another mentioned that this was a government project of deception, specifically the blue beam projection. While I can understand the weather balloon bit, I have questions about the blue beam projection. Of all the clips, why would the government share this, assuming we believe the blue beam projection theory? It doesn't add up, does it? Anyway, what do you personally think about the whole thing? In a nature documentary called The Great North, some viewers noticed something peculiar during one of the episodes. The footage shows a herd of caribou running from a grassy area into a water body. But that's not where the mystery lies. In the background, further on the land, a dark figure can be seen moving on 2 legs. When the footage was zoomed in, the creature appeared to be carrying a smaller figure on its back. Some who closely examined the footage believed it could be a mother Bigfoot carrying her baby, possibly out hunting for food. Take a closer look. What do you think? Could this be another rare sighting of the elusive Bigfoot? What do we have here? A flat, circular, flame-like cloud partially hidden behind a large, dark cloud. It almost looks like something out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? The shape and fiery glow make it appear almost otherworldly, like some kind of celestial event or an unidentified aerial phenomenon. So, what could this be? One possibility is that it's a rare type of lenticular cloud, which can form in smooth, lens-like shapes near mountains or in certain weather conditions. These clouds sometimes reflect sunlight in ways that make them glow or appear otherworldly, or it could be a form of weather anomaly such as cloud-to-cloud lightning or a particularly striking atmospheric effect. Hold on, well, what if it's no cloud at all? A passerby captured a peculiar sight in the sky, a helicopter flying with a mysterious object attached to it via a harness. The object appeared to be large and circular, and its unusual size and shape have sparked quite a bit of speculation. Many viewers believe this helicopter might be transporting a UFO. The sleek and unconventional design of the object has added fuel to these claims, with some suggesting it could be evidence of government secretly studying alien technology. However, others argue that this is likely a mundane explanation, such as a test module, satellite component, or industrial equipment being transported. What's your take on this? Some friends in Finland had set off one night into the woods. There were rumors of a creature that had been roaming the woods at night, and they wanted to see it for themselves, so they set off one night with their camera and a torch. During their search, eerie howling sounds echoed through the trees, heightening their anticipation and fear. They pointed their flashlights and camera toward the source of the noise, and what they captured was startling. A large bipedal and furry creature stood just a few feet away. It seemed somewhat startled by the light, but didn't display any aggressive behavior. The creature appeared to watch them briefly before disappearing deeper into the woods. The footage they recorded is not entirely clear, leaving its exact identity open to interpretation. According to the men, the creature closely resembled a dogman. What do you think? Next up, we've got a clip recorded by a homeowner who was cleaning out her property. It was a cleaning like every other until she stumbled upon an old horse saddle in the barn left behind by the previous owners. Wanting to get rid of it, she decided to burn the saddle, but if we are featuring it, something eerie happened. As the saddle burned, a white smoke emerged, moving gracefully in front of the fire. What made this smoke unusual was how it took on the shape of a horse galloping, and from the background, the unmistakable sound of hooves echoed through the air. The homeowner believes she may have freed the spirit of a horse long trapped in the saddle, as it appeared to move and gallop away. Before you come at me, I know how that sounds, but think about it. What if? Just what if? Before we move on to the next clip, I saw a comment under the original post that had me laughing. Take a look. Tell me you get the reference. But something else about it sparked curiosity and a bit of unease. One commenter made a rather chilling observation that's hard to shake off. He suggested that the supposed fossilized tree actually resembles a femur, the thigh bone of some unimaginably large creature. The funny thing is, once you take a closer look at the structure, it's hard to unsee the bone-like qualities. The proportions, shape, and surface texture all seem to echo something much more than a tree. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but what about your thoughts on this eerie find? Have you ever had a fabric turn into another color in your hand? No? Watch this. This individual was holding a green fabric and noticed it was capable of changing colors. The person goes out to demonstrate while holding the fabric, and truly it did turn blue from the color green. The question is, how? Many thought it was a glitch, but Julius just laughed. It's all about the light intensity and bulb color, he said. As much as I'd hate to agree with him, I think he's right on this one, but what say you? This footage was captured in the UK. It shows glowing orbs clustered together in the night sky. These objects appear to move with precision and seem to maintain a deliberate formation as they glide through the air. The sight is undeniably captivating and has sparked significant discussion online. Many enthusiasts suggest these could be plasma UFOs. They're believed to be otherworldly crafts or entities composed of energy rather than solid matter. Plasma UFO theories are often linked to their luminous fluid-like appearance and their intelligent movement patterns. What do you think? Next up, we've got a clip from a hunter who was out in the woods on a bright afternoon, tracking what he believed to be signs of a Bigfoot. After spotting some large footprints in the mud, his curiosity was piqued, but it wasn't long before something else caught his attention. Moving behind the bushes ahead of him stirred his instincts. Peeking out from the thick brush was a dark-furred bipedal creature. Its large muscular frame moved with an eerie silence as it tried to remain hidden, but its piercing eyes and face were unmistakable. Just look at that face. It had a human-like structure, but the features were distinctly animalistic. So what do you think? Genuine or not genuine? Let us know in the comments. This video really gives off a trippy vibe, especially with how the cat's unique coloring stands out. Its body seems divided into two distinct sections. From the stomach to the hind legs, it's a rich dark brown, while the front legs to the head are black with a striking white pattern that runs from between the eyes down to the mouth and neck. The black and white combo looks pretty standard for a cat, but the way that deep brown color appears in the back half of its body makes it look unusual. The way the black and brown meet creates this almost perfect dividing line along the back, which just adds to the oddness. It's as if someone stitched two different cats together, front and back halves not quite matching. This kind of rare fur pattern must catch a lot of eyes. It's amazing how nature can create these unexpected combinations, almost like a work of abstract art. Have you ever seen a cat with such striking color contrasts before? Do you think it's even real? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments section. A woman shared her chilling experience while she was home alone one evening. Her partner had gone out, leaving her by herself when she began to hear strange noises echoing through the house. Feeling uneasy, she decided to investigate. She called out, switched on the hallway lights, but saw nothing unusual, at least at first. Then she stood in front of a glass door leading to a spare room, and something caught her eye. There, on the other side of the glass, was a pale, shadowy figure. Slowly it slid down the glass pane as though it were pressed against it. Heart pounding, the woman mustered the courage to open the door, stepping into what was a spare room used as an office with 2 desks and a computer. She scanned the room, but found nothing out of place. Then, just to be sure, she glanced behind the door, and still no sign of the figure. What could this have been? Do you believe in ghosts? No? Well, watch this. A lady was going over her home security cam when she noticed that the camera facing her patio recorded something strange and translucent. Naturally, this upset her a bit, and she went to investigate. The thing about the camera facing her patio is that when you are on the patio, you're slightly obscured from it, depending on how and where exactly you stand. Despite that, there's what looks like a translucent being over there, more along the lines of a little girl. Do you see her? Or it? Don't get me wrong, the child looks a tad ghostly and unnatural. Also, there's no girl living in the property that looks like that. Some have, however, argued that it could be the woman's dog, and all we're experiencing is pareidolia. I get where those guys are coming from, but I feel there's something, or at least someone there. What do you think? You know the saying, don't start something you cannot finish. Well, take a look at this footage.
Blue, blue baby, baby blue, blue baby, baby blue.
Two women were performing a fertility ritual in their room. One person had the camera, and the other was saying in front of the camera as she recited some incantation and swung her arms back and forth as if she was cradling a baby. As she continued, right behind at her door, a pale head with dark hollow eyes poked its head in and stared right at them before quickly retreating. The woman holding the camera saw this and immediately alerted her friend. They both began to scream in panic and confusion. Did these women just summon an entity during the ritual? The sudden appearance of this eerie figure certainly suggests they may have disturbed something otherworldly. This is why we must be careful when meddling with these types of things. Julius thinks this is ridiculous, but I bet there are some of you who have done stuff like that with strange and unexplainable results or occurrences. Care to share? This creature is the stuff of nightmares. Imagine stumbling upon this giant worm with its menacing teeth. Definitely not your average encounter. The lack of details on its origin leaves room for speculation. Is it a creature from the depths of the ocean, a newly discovered species, or just a remarkable creation of special effects? Regardless, if it's not a man-made prop, encountering such a beast would be a jaw-dropping moment, quite literally. Let's hope it's just a product of someone's vivid imagination, because if not, humanity might just need to rethink its place in the food chain. A dog owner woke up one morning to an incredible surprise. Their dog was standing on the patio. At first, the scene might seem like your typical playful behavior, but just wait, it gets even better. As the dog starts pawing at the keys, something remarkable happens. Not only does it press the keys, but it also begins to howl, creating a unique harmony. It's as if the dog is performing its very own concert. This canine has some impressive musical instincts. It might not make the charts, but it's a performance any dog lover would treasure. Have you ever seen anything like this? This lady was sitting in her room alone, enjoying the privacy until she realized she was not alone. When she looks to her left, there's no one there, but when she looks to the TV, she sees someone sitting next to her. How? The individual appears to be a lady, and she's just sitting there. She uploaded the clip, searching for answers, but only got comments from individuals asking her to leave. Some thought it was an evil spirit stalking her, whereas others thought it was there waiting for a perfect opportunity to unalive her. Personally, not sure how to feel about this one, but what do you guys think?
Okay, so the noise is my
Next, we've got a banana lying on a table. The hand reaches out to it, and this is what happens. The banana begins to pulsate as if it's alive. This is one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen involving food. What could be going on here? Several theories came to mind. Some suggest it might be an elaborate prank or special effects trickery designed to shock and disturb viewers. Others speculate that the banana could be infested with some sort of parasitic organism or insect larvae, causing it to move in such a creepy manner. There are also those who believe it could be a cleverly edited video using CGI to create the pulsating effects. What do you think could be the reason behind this pulsating banana? The nighttime seems to be the best time for all sorts of weird things to happen and for strange things to emerge. Someone captured intriguing footage while walking by the woods after feeling like something was watching them from the trees. When they turned, they saw a pair of glowing eyes at the tree line, intently observing them. In the dark, the outline of the creature became somewhat visible, revealing what looked like eyes and an obvious snout. It was difficult to determine if that was the entirety of the creature's body or if there was more hidden in the shadows. When this footage was posted online, it sparked a debate with people having different opinions about the identity of the creature. One group leaned towards more familiar animals such as gators, dogs, coyotes, donkeys, and pigs. However, others suggested a more paranormal explanation, noting the eerie vibe the creature exuded. Some speculated it might be a hellhound, while another person humorously suggested it was a Pikachu, and yet another believed it could be a djinn. What do you think about this mysterious encounter? Is it a familiar creature, or do you lean towards a more supernatural explanation? Let's take a look at this fascinating new tech invention. What you're seeing is a demonstration of a groundbreaking material, a self-healing fabric called NanoCure Tech. In the video, a hand holds a piece of fabric, and as the person pokes a hole in it, the damage seems to disappear as if by magic. The individual simply runs their finger over the hole, and just like that, the fabric seals itself back up. This isn't some form of magic, it's an advanced cutting-edge technology designed to enhance the durability and longevity of fabrics. NanoCure Tech uses microscopic self-repairing components that activate when the fabric is damaged. When the fabric is punctured or torn, the nanoparticles within it expand, and when you rub it, the heat contracts the material again, making it appear to be mending on its own. Has a ghost ever photobombed your selfie? Well, that might just be what happened to this girl. She was taking a casual selfie on Snapchat, striking a cute pose late at night in her room. But after taking the photo, she gave it a second glance, and that's when she noticed something chilling. Behind her was the pale face of a woman with hollow eyes, messy hair, and a dark expression. She appeared to be wearing a plain black shirt and didn't have a friendly look. The girl was home alone and everyone in her family had already gone to bed. So if no one else was around, who or what was this ghostly figure? This particular clip has been making the rounds online, leaving many people shocked and intrigued. Some deep-sea researchers were allegedly conducting an expedition in the Gulf of Mexico when they stumbled upon something extraordinary. As you can see, it was an enormous sea creature swimming gracefully through the waters. According to the team, after studying the footage and comparing it with known marine life, they believe this could be a juvenile Mosasaurus. If you're unfamiliar with the name, it's because the Mosasaurus is a prehistoric marine reptile thought to have gone extinct millions of years ago. If this discovery holds any truth, it will be one of the most astonishing finds in modern history. But what do you think? Could this truly be a living fossil or edited footage? Here we have another curious image captured on a trail camera, showing an ape-like creature sitting in the shade of the trees. The owner of the image sets up the camera in hopes of capturing footage of Bigfoot, as there have been several reports of sightings in the area, and he was not disappointed. Now, some are claiming that this creature could just be a monkey or a very large primate. However, Bigfoot enthusiasts are convinced that this is the real deal. But what do you think? Let me take you back to 1915 in San Diego, a time when the city was in severe drought. Desperation had set in as the water shortage grew critical, and there seemed to be no solution. That is, until a man named Charles Hatfield entered the scene with a bold claim that he could bring rain to the city. Hatfield, often referred to as a rainmaker, proposed an extraordinary deal. He promised to summon rain in exchange for a $10,000 payment if he succeeded. With no better options, the city agreed to the unusual arrangement. Remarkably, Hatfield delivered a little too well. His method was releasing a mix of chemicals into the air to stimulate rainfall. As odd as it sounds, it worked, but instead of easing the drought, San Diego found itself in one of the worst floods recorded in the 20th century. Rivers overflowed, homes were destroyed, and the damage far exceeded what anyone had anticipated. Hatfield's attempts to save the city turned into a disaster. But what do you think? Was this a freak coincidence, or did Hatfield really have the power to control the skies? Let's take a look at this unusual and fascinating footage. A couple was out hiking with their dogs when they stumbled upon something bizarre in the forest. They noticed the soil in this particular area seemed off. The ground wasn't solid like normal soil. Instead, it was wobbly and bouncy, almost behaving like a giant bouncy castle. The couple couldn't resist testing it out, and as they jumped on it, you could see the soil ripple and bounce under their feet. This phenomenon is not what you'd expect from solid ground, which is typically static and stable. So what's going on here? Ever wondered what a kidney stone looks like and how doctors treat it? No? Well, let's dive into it. Kidney stones are hard deposits of minerals and salts that can form inside your kidneys. They vary in size from a grain of sand to, in rare cases, something as large as a golf ball. When a stone forms and becomes lodged in the urinary tract, it can cause severe pain, often described as one of the most intense experiences a person can have. To treat this, doctors use a procedure known as lithotripsy or stone punch. It involves inserting a small device into the kidney. This device comes with a tiny camera, which allows the doctor to see exactly where the stone is located. Once in position, the machine delivers high-energy sound waves or lasers to break the stone into smaller pieces. These fragments can then pass through the urinary tract more easily, reducing the need for surgery. The process is highly effective, and while it may sound uncomfortable, it's much less invasive than traditional surgery. Not many people believe in ghosts or paranormal activity, but this video might have even the biggest skeptics talking. A woman was sitting quietly when she felt an odd sensation on her left hand. It was almost as though someone was gently touching her fingers. If she was with loved ones, it would have been reassuring, but she was completely alone at the time. Curious and a bit unsettled, she pulled out her phone to record what was happening. And this is what she captured. Her ring, sitting on her finger, began to slowly rotate on its own. Just look at that. Weird, right? There's no world where this is normal and natural. It got many folks in the paranormal community talking. Some believed it was genuine. There were also some who thought it had to be fake. Some thought the clip had to be doctored. Whereas others assumed she was using a trick, say a magnet to turn the ring. You've seen the clip too, so what do you think is going on here? Someone caught this bizarre spectacle on camera and posted it to Reddit, and it's one of the strangest things you'll see all week. It shows a glowing blue flame traveling along the electric wires outside their house. You can hear this low, intense buzzing sound as the flame zips by like it's alive. The glow is eerie, almost otherworldly, like something from a sci-fi movie. What's even stranger is that there's no sign of a regular fire anywhere. No smoke, no burning poles, and nothing that suggests a typical electrical issue. This was just a surreal blue flame snaking its way along the wires and lighting up the night sky. Now, a few folks online think this could be a phenomenon called an electrical arc. It's basically when electricity jumps through the air between wires or equipment, and under certain conditions, it can produce these weird blue flames. It's rare but not impossible. But not everyone's buying the science. Some people are convinced it's something else, like an energy moving through the grid unnaturally, or even some kind of paranormal force. After all, the way the flame moved, it didn't flicker like fire normally would. It glided, fast and smooth, almost like it had a mind of its own. So was it just a freak electrical event, or something far stranger? This is a clip that's gone viral over the past few weeks because there's a demonic figure captured in it. The clip was originally recorded by an individual trying to sell his blinds, but as he pans his camera around, he ends up capturing a demonic figure hiding in the darkness. Many have tried to tell him to be careful and to see an exorcist. After watching the clip over and over, however, I don't think that'll be necessary. I feel like, and strong emphasis on feel, okay? Yeah, I don't think that will be necessary. This looks like pareidolia at work. It's most likely the interaction between the light, darkness, and things in the room. It can make you feel like there is a demon out there. If you've woken up in the dark room, you know what I mean. But what do you think? Is there a demon there or not?
Con la luz, cierro la cortina y es como si fuera totalmente de noche. Totalmente oscuras.
An observer recently shared a curious piece of footage that has everyone asking the same question. What is this strange tube-like cloud moving across the sky? The object in question is small and appears to be a narrow tube of clouds drifting alongside a larger mass of clouds. What's even more bizarre is its movement. Unlike the surrounding clouds, this tube seems to be moving independently, almost like it has a life of its own. While clouds are shaped by natural forces like wind and air pressure, the way this one is behaving feels off. Could this be some sort of atmospheric phenomenon we don't yet fully understand, or is there something else at play here? Some might suggest it's a rare natural occurrence like a funnel cloud or a tornado in its early stages, but the size and shape don't quite match up to those typical weather patterns. What do you think? Is this a natural weather phenomenon, or could this tube-shaped cloud be something more mysterious? A passenger on a plane shared some rather strange and captivating footage she captured during her flight.
No, it's not. What is it? Carrie, what is that? What is that? Carrie, what is that?
In the footage, a dark figure can be seen in the sky. At first, it appears to be moving swiftly upward, heading toward the right. But as she continues to film, the object suddenly changes course. It doesn't dart or move erratically, but instead makes a slow, deliberate turn and begins aiming toward the left, still ascending. The movement is so smooth and unusual that it's difficult to tell what the object could be. The object doesn't behave like typical aircraft or birds, and its flight path suggests a level of control that adds to the mystery. What do you think this dark figure could be? Is it a natural phenomenon, or are we witnessing something otherworldly?
No, it's not. What is it? Carrie, what is that? What is that? Carrie, what is that? Oh.
Do you know about the dancing Israelis from the 9/11 incident? This story came about when a woman in New Jersey was looking out of her apartment window at the burning Twin Towers, and she watched in shock as something caught her attention. 5 men were filming the crumbling building. They were cheering, high-fiving, and even taking photographs of themselves with the burning buildings in the background. At first, she thought they were Arabs, and fearing something suspicious, she called the police. The authorities responded quickly, and the men were arrested. But when their identities were checked, it turned out they were not Arabs, but Israelis. The men were held for 71 days before finally being released. When asked why they were there and why they were documenting the attack, their response was cryptic. We were there to document the event. But how did they know they would be an event to document? This led to numerous conspiracy theories suggesting that they had prior knowledge of the attacks. Some have speculated that they were intelligence operatives monitoring the situation, while others believe their presence was purely coincidental. So what do you think? Was this just a case of people at the wrong place at the wrong time, or is there something much deeper behind the story? Here we have a few photos taken in Cherokee, North Carolina. A group of campers were out fishing when they saw these tracks on the ground. The tracks were larger than a man's foot and had distinct toe and heel outlines. The area where they were found was cold and remote, and the tracks led straight into the nearby water. Many believe these tracks could belong to Bigfoot. Just look at the shape of the toes and heel. It's hard to explain otherwise. So, someone in the community tagged us in this post made by a lady known as spiritual ghost hunter Angie. In the video, she was advertising some clothes she was selling and letting everyone know they were vintage and they could come around to have a look. I watched the clip till the end, but a later post from her states that there was actually a ghost in the video. She then slows down that part of the video and we see a blur go across the screen. According to her, this is the ghost moving at super speed. I love paranormal stuff, but well, somehow I doubt that. I feel like it might have just been her hand moving across the camera, but hey, maybe you guys see better than I do. Care to share your opinion?
Hey guys, this is Spiritual Ghost Hunter Aggie. I'm in this amazing warehouse, and
Two men were out by the seaside in Zacumulco, Mexico, just enjoying a quiet moment with their dogs. It was late and calm until something strange started to happen. From out over the ocean came a chilling sound, a long, drawn-out wailing. And it wasn't the sound of waves or animals, it sounded like a woman crying.
Menos mal que traigo mi primera comunión.
Los lamentos pues no me han espantado tanto porque pues ya es algo, bueno, no es como, a pesar de que no son tan cotidianos, que no sean diarios.
Startled, the men began filming the water's surface, unsure of what they were hearing. And that's when something even stranger happened. A figure appeared briefly on the surface of the water, then it vanished. Moments later, not one but three shadowy figures could be seen rising and disappearing into the ocean mist. It was fleeting, but enough to send a chill down their spines. Now, in Mexican folklore, there's a well-known legend of La Llorona, the weeping woman. As the story goes, she drowned her own children in a fit of despair, and now her spirit roams bodies of water, eternally mourning and searching for them. Her cries are said to lure people toward danger, and sightings like this, especially near water, are often linked to her. What makes this encounter more intense is how the dogs reacted. They weren't calm, they were barking aggressively in the direction of the water as if they sensed something wasn't right. Animals often pick up on things humans can't, and their reaction only adds to the fear of the moment.
Menos mal que traigo mi primera comunión.
Los lamentos pues no me han espantado tanto porque pues ya es algo, bueno, no es como, a pesar de que no son tan cotidianos, que no sean diarios.
Science has discovered a new way to influence brain activity. It's called the neural entrainment. This technique uses specific sound frequencies to alter brain function, and research suggests it may even help reduce anxiety. By exposing the brain to rhythmic stimuli, such as sound waves or light pulses, neural activity can synchronize with those external frequencies, potentially leading to improved focus, relaxation, and emotional balance. It's fascinating how something as simple as sound can have such a powerful effect on the mind. Could this be the future of mental health treatments? Take a look at this clip of Elon Musk during President Trump's inauguration. Out of nowhere, he's rotating his neck in a strange, almost mechanical way, while his eyes scan the room with an oddly calculated gaze. Elon Musk has been a hot topic in the paranormal community for a long time. The most popular conspiracy theory about him is that he's not human at all. He's either a reptilian or a robot, and honestly, it's hard not to entertain these ideas when you see some of his questionable public behavior. This moment, for example, makes his movements seem eerily robotic. That said, let's not forget that Musk had neck surgery to replace a herniated disc due to an injury years ago that left him with chronic back pain. Could this explain his unnatural movements, or do you still believe the possibility that he's not entirely human? I mean, he could be a robot rebooting, and that wouldn't sound too far off. This video was shared by a man who was out with his kids. They lived close to the woods, and while the family was spending time outside, they noticed something unusual among the trees. That's when the man suddenly told his family to get inside immediately as he stepped out to get a closer look. But what he saw was honestly chilling. There, between the trees, was a humanoid figure, clearly on two legs, bent slightly with its back facing the camera. It was dark in color, and from a distance it didn't seem to notice the man watching it. The body proportions, the build, the way it moved, it all looked way too large and strange for a regular human. But we all know what this could be. Bigfoot. What made it even more unsettling was the sound it let out, a strange, deep howl, almost like a huff. It wasn't panicked or aggressive, it was just doing its thing. But the encounter left the family shaken. That wasn't a bear, it wasn't someone in a costume, and if this were Bigfoot, it just might be one of the clearest moments caught on camera in recent years. What do you think? Imagine walking into your kitchen and seeing your cutlery have a field day. The woman who recorded this clip is Japanese, and she couldn't believe her eyes when she walked into her kitchen and saw her crockery just doing what they liked. She got her husband or brother to come out to help, but there was nothing he could do. As he stood there, helplessly watching, the woman looked to her right and saw a figure that was not supposed to be there. She lets out a chilling scream and the footage ends. When the clip made its way online, many were quick to point out the fact that it's almost likely a ghost. I mean, there's no other logical explanation, right? Other than the clip being staged. So the big question here is this truly legit? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments section. We all remember the time Selena Gomez fell on the red carpet at an awards show. It's a very infamous incident, but recently someone made an interesting observation. Take a look at her foot as she fell. It twisted in a way that looked rather unnatural, almost inhuman. People are now linking this to the shapeshifter conspiracy in Hollywood. Some are suggesting that Selena might have shapeshifted in public and covered it up with a fall. We've seen a lot of cases where celebrities have very odd moments like this, and it's often said to be a glitch in their reptilian bodies. But is that really the case? Personally, I think this might just be AI-edited footage. Maybe it's Julius. His opinions are starting to affect me, but not you guys. So what do you think is going on here?
Ando aquí en mi casa,
que hasta casi que voy a aventar.
A rental house owner captured this eerie scene. She'd gone to the property to clean it up for a new tenant. The house had been vacant for 2 months, so she wanted to make sure everything was ready for the next person moving in.
Seguí este cuarto aquí en el oeste y me fui para los detrás.
She'd already started mopping the floors when she noticed something strange on the ground as she moved around the rooms. There were human footprints, clear as day.
Siguen las patitas. Como huella. Están todavía se seca.
But here's the thing, she was not completely alone and was wearing sneakers, so the prints could not have been hers.
Y estoy sola. No hay nadie. Mis niños están en la escuela.
But if it wasn't her, who or what was there with her? She's not sure, but she states that she felt uneasy when she saw the prints, almost as though they were an invisible force or being sharing her space with her.
Ay, madre. Ya me voy.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Before you buy a place, always do your investigation. You don't want to end up with a cursed house. The same goes for renting out your property. Be careful who you hand it over to. You never know. It might attract things. What if this invisible entity was left behind by the previous tenant, or maybe it moved in during the 2 months the house was empty? Also, what exactly could we be dealing with? Any ideas?
Seguí este cuarto aquí en el oeste y me fui para los detrás. Ya vengo a ver, trapeando y noto esto. Siguen las patitas.
If you're wondering what's going on here, well, you aren't alone. I watched this over and over and over and became a little sad. Now, I'm the last person who will judge people for their life choices as long as it doesn't hurt them or others, but this hurt me, and I'm sure it's hurting them too. So this is a training shelter for humans who identify as dogs. In fact, what you're seeing is an obedience competition being carried out for these humans who identify as dogs. I know we all sometimes wish we were something or someone else, but come on. We have to come back to reality and do our best to make the best of the cards we've been dealt. This feels like running away from reality, and it doesn't help anyone, especially those being encouraged to do this. I feel society may be headed for a rough time if we don't correct any of these. Well, maybe I'm the one that has it all wrong, but what do you guys think about this? Personally, I think they're barking mad. Get it? Churches are sacred places. They're mostly quiet, spiritual, and often filled with a deep sense of peace. But that same spiritual energy is exactly why many believe they attract more than just the living. A man was walking past a church late at night when he noticed something strange. The lights inside were still on, even though the place was closed. The front door was glass, giving a clear view into the building, but it was also guarded by a locked metal gate, so no one could easily get in, and yet something was inside. Out of nowhere, loud banging sounds start coming from the glass door, like someone or something was slamming against it from the inside. You could hear it echo in the quiet street. The man was not alone either. There were other people nearby who also stopped to look, clearly disturbed by what they were witnessing. Everyone could see that no one was at the door, and yet the banging continued. And if that wasn't creepy enough, at one point a low growling sound could be heard. It was faint but unmistakable. It was not the sound of a person, but it wasn't an animal either. Some believe this could be a demonic manifestation of a spirit repelled by the sanctity of the church, but still trying to make its presence known. Others say it might be the lingering energy of someone or something that never left the place. Whatever it was, it didn't look or sound human, and the fact that it happened inside a church is what's got everyone talking.
Porta aqui, não tem nada ali dentro.
This mermaid performer works at a Chinese aquarium, and during one of her shows, something terrifying happens. While she was performing in the water, a large fish swam above her. Suddenly, its mouth suctioned around her head, swallowing it whole. After a few tense seconds, the fish spat her out and swam away. The woman quickly swam out of the tank and emerged with a scratch above her eye. That was a close call, but what kind of fish was it? After some research, I discovered it was a massive sturgeon. Well, luckily sturgeons don't eat humans, which is why she came out alive. It likely mistook her for food. While everyone gives the young woman the needed attention, no one's thinking about that fish. Imagine trying to have a piece of shrimp and it turns out to be the creature much larger than you. Poor guy. Still on cryptic messages, we've got a series of clips you'll want to see. These videos were taken by residents in New York and Arizona. They captured a strange sentence displayed in the sky, and it read, "Read between the lies, #paradise." Now, what does that mean? There's already a lot of strange stuff going on, so what's the deal with this cryptic message? Who could have done this and why? What do they know to send something like this out there? Have you ever tried pulling out a nail that's been hammered into a wall? It's tough, right? Takes strength, some leverage, and maybe a few grunts and a bent tool or two. Well, prepare to be humbled. Take a look at this macho little bee. In a viral clip that's been making the rounds online, this bee is seen gripping a nail and gradually pulling it out of a wall. Yeah, a bee. Not a bird, not a bat, a bee. You can almost see the determination in its little wings. It's kind of hilarious and weirdly impressive. Now, scientists are chiming in, saying the nail was probably already loose or barely wedged in to begin with, which might explain how the bee managed to pull it out. Still, loose or not, it's a bee. This isn't what we expect from pollinators. What was it even doing? Renovating? Helping with repairs? Who knows? Maybe next time you're struggling to yank out a stubborn nail, just know a bee might have done it faster.
Good lad.
If you've ever discovered something like this in a tree, what would be your honest reaction? Personally, I may be tempted to investigate the other trees and see if they also contain other valuable items. The man who discovered this one, however, chose to record the whole thing and upload it online, telling everyone he'd possibly discovered the hideout of a leprechaun. At least, that's the version of the story I heard. Leprechauns are tied to gold because, according to old Irish stories, they used to work as shoemakers for fairies, and apparently they got pretty well paid for it. Since they lived alone and didn't spend much, they'd stash their gold in secret spots, usually deep in the forest or, as the legend goes, at the end of a rainbow. Over time, people started to say that if you got caught by a leprechaun, you could make him tell you where his treasure was. That's where the whole pot of gold thing comes from. It's a mix of hard work, mystery, and a little mischief. Classic leprechaun vibes. Interesting, right? But there are also animals out there who like to grab shiny things and hide them. Raccoons, squirrels, and ravens are all animals that like to hoard shiny objects. He could have basically discovered one of those creatures' hidden stash. Personally, I think that's what happened. But what do you guys also think? This is exactly why some of us freak out whenever new military technology is released. Just look at these two machines going at each other. It's a drone and a robot dog shooting firecrackers at one another. I think this is some sort of test, but even this looks intense. Both are tirelessly firing at each other with precision. Imagine if they had actual bullets or explosives. The damage they could cause is something I don't even want to think about. I know the tech industry is trying to find alternative means to fight wars and enhance security, but let's not forget that these are machines, gadgets that can be hacked or malfunction. And if that happens, it could turn into something straight out of movies like Creator, M3GAN, Terminator, or even align with the theory of the singularity. While we wrap our minds around that, this woman was driving home and had come to a stop at a junction in her neighborhood when she noticed something unusual.
Look at this. Look at this. There's one there. There's one there. There's one there.
About 3 deer were standing a few feet apart, all facing the same direction and standing eerily still. It was so strange.
There's one there. There's one there. There's one there. They're just standing.
She recorded the clip and uploaded it online, seeking to understand the behavior. Naturally, many in the community were quick to point out this was evidence of a glitch they had been talking about. Others were not sold on it and felt the whole scene might have been staged. Yeah, paid deer actors, or at least realistic-looking ones. Being the open-minded person I am, I did some research, and it turns out that none of those answers are right. Deer actually do this. The eerie stillness of the 3 deer in the neighborhood could be explained by their ability to sense the Earth's magnetic field. A study on roe deer in Europe found that these animals tend to align themselves along a north-northeast to south-southwest axis, regardless of external factors like time of day or habitat. This behavior, known as nonsense orientation, isn't random. It helps maintain group cohesion, especially when fleet in danger. When disturbed, roe deer also tend to run in these same directions, so the deer at the junction might not have been frozen in fear, but simply following their natural magnetic alignment, a behavior seen in other animals like birds. Shocking, I know, but perhaps there's more to the animals around us than we give them credit for. Who knows what other superpowers deer and other animals might have that we have yet to observe or understand.
There's one there. There's one there. There's one there. They're just standing.
Is that a bear? It's not moving. What is that? What is it? Oh! Yeah, this just really doesn't feel right. Oh my god, did I catch that on camera? No, I saw that. I know. Okay, I'm leaving.
This clip is a tad unusual. We're introduced to a lady filming what appears to be a mass on a tree. In the clip, we can hear her panicking because, well, she's not sure what she's looking at. She keeps filming, and at one point we see her turn around and run, probably because she feels she saw the mass moving. Personally, I didn't see it move, but some in the community think it's a juvenile Bigfoot pretending to be an inanimate object. I've looked at the object several times, and I do see the semblance they're referring to. However, people who have more experience in the outdoors say it's just a fungus. Can any of you confirm that for us, and, if possible, educate the rest of us who are afraid of the great outdoors? We'll be reading through the comments section.
What is it? Oh! Yeah, this just really doesn't feel right. Oh my god, did I catch that on camera? No, I saw that. I know. Okay, I'm leaving.
Back in 2015, some engineers and medical tech experts created tiny robots that were used to unclog arteries. They did this by using magnetic fields to guide chains of iron oxide beads through blood vessels, and these beads could basically drill through plaque and clear any blockage so that the blood could properly flow again. Now, it all sounds like a great innovation, and it is until you think about the other side of it. If they can create machines that move through your bloodstream to unclog arteries, imagine what could happen if something like this were used for a nefarious purpose. These tiny devices could do anything inside your body without you even noticing. And that's exactly why some people are so wary of AI and technology. And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Now share this with as many people as you can, because that's what we want. Because we love you. So show us some love back. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.